Hi, my name is Carla Forbes, and I'm a patient of Dr. Haddock's. A couple of years ago, I had a double mastectomy, and Dr. Haddock did reconstructive surgery using the PAP flap method. That procedure, which I had never heard of and didn't even know existed, Dr. Haddock removes tissue from the upper thigh region and attaches it and uses that tissue to do the breast reconstruction. I had no idea anything like that was even possible until I came and talked with Dr. Haddock. I distinctly remember when I was setting up the appointment, and then right up until the moment I was driving down the tollway to attend the appointment, I had pretty well convinced myself that this was something I was not going to do, reconstruction. And then I became concerned even that I was wasting Dr. Haddock's time by even keeping the appointment. That being said, here I am 2 years later, and Dr. Haddock made all the difference in the world. He is the reason that I did what I did. He inspired confidence, and his kindness and compassion came through from the second that I met with him. He explained all of the options, and he believed that this PAP flap procedure was the best thing for me in my circumstance. And again, I had never heard of anything like that. So needless to say, I did leave here feeling very overwhelmed and surprised at myself that I was even considering going forward with it. And in the days and weeks ahead, I did go back and forth, just out of my own fear and anxiety. But again, Dr. Haddock inspired such confidence, and his credentials are stellar. His personhood, stellar as well. I booked the surgery, and even though it was a hard road, I have never regretted what I did. The surgery, as I mentioned, was it was a lot to go through, and he was very upfront about that as well. It was a 2 and sometimes 3-part process. In my instance, it did require a 3rd surgery. The healing time in between was rigorous and challenging. All of that to be anticipated, and it is difficult to muster up energy and courage to do something that you know is going to be difficult. The help that Dr. Haddock and his entire team provided me every step of the way, every visit, which was just about weekly, in between surgeries, helped continue to support me and give me confidence that I was doing the right thing and that I would get there. And I knew the day I realized, yeah, this is worth it, was a day that I could look back with no regrets. It was probably midway through the recovery after the 2nd surgery that I could honestly say that. I knew I would get there, but it took a while to really fully embrace the thought that every bit of pain and every step along the way has been worth it. And now on this side of things, 2 years later, I can't tell you how true that is. I live without restriction. I have no hesitations with anything, with any activity, with any clothes that I buy. I have never had to look back. And that's why you do this, because it helps give you your freedom back. Way back in the beginning, when, again, I was very much filled with fear and anxiety, at the very beginning of this long and sometimes dark and painful journey, I remember talking to my nephew, who was a tremendous support to me throughout all of this. And when I was talking with him about the possibility of doing reconstructive surgery with Dr. Haddock, he said, "Carla, it sounds to me like doing that would be the difference between surviving and thriving." That has kind of been the catchphrase that perfectly describes this whole process with Dr. Haddock. The first part of the process, the journey, was the survival part. Every step thereafter with Dr. Haddock has been about thriving and having your freedom and living the life you're meant to live. And that's what I'm doing. And I have Dr. Haddock to thank for that. I think so much of him and his capability. I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for him. Well, I've tried really hard to say to him what he means to me, how grateful I am to him. I believe in telling people those good things. And yet, I still feel that words cannot express the gratitude that I feel to him, again, for his skills, his passion, his compassion, kindness and caring from the beginning right up until my appointment just this morning, 2 years later. He's a wonderful person, a dedicated, wonderful doctor, and I feel so blessed and grateful to have met him and been able to choose him. He's the reason that I did what I did and the reason that I'm doing so well and that I'm here today. I couldn't be more grateful.